What time is it, guys? It's time for our remake, reboot, news of the week. Sinners director Ryan Coogler teases X-Files series reboot, confirms he's spoken with the original star Gillian Anderson. Let's go! Now, y'all know that I feel like we are doing way too many remakes and reboots. And again, I've gone over why this is happening. I understand. Doesn't mean I have to like it. However, I don't like how many they're doing. And that's not to say that I don't like reboots and remakes, because there are definitely some successful ones. X-Files was this sci-fi series that ran from 1993 to 2001, and they did like a revival back in like 2016 and 2018. I guess it wasn't as like well received, or maybe, I don't know. I didn't watch the revival. Now, I wasn't an avid fan that watched all of X-Files. How old was I when it came out? I think I was 10 when it first came out. So I didn't really get into it until I was a little older, and then I only watched a couple episodes because I was doing a lot of stuff by that time. I was doing my own thing. But the episodes that I did see, I did enjoy. So I'm a big fan of, Dave Duchovny and, and Gillian Anderson. They did a good job together. So I do like the idea that it's being brought back. So kind of just like with Jordan Peele, how he was helmed to bring back the Twilight series, which I've watched a couple episodes of his, but I didn't have the streaming service that it was featured on, so I couldn't keep watching. And then out of sight, out of mind, I kind of forgot about it, to be perfectly honest with you, until just now when we're talking about Ryan Coogler being helmed to do the X-Files series. Like, I'm excited for a few reasons. One, this is not the first time that Ryan Coogler has kind of like brought a series or a franchise, like, breathe new life into it. It's not the first time he's brought one back to life. He's got the Creed series under his belt, because first of all, Rocky was huge. Okay. A huge series. Okay. My favorite Rocky is Rocky 4. If he dies, he dies. How could you not love that? So, but that was so long ago. And for Ryan to come in and shift focus from Rocky to Apollo Creed's son, Adonis, like, and just really like make you care and find new ways of telling this rise to the top story and giving his character new challenges, and especially with the casting, and like, it just, these Creed movies are so good. Like 1, 2, and 3 are good. Do I have a favorite one out of the 3? 1. I feel like 3's pacing, like there wasn't as much buildup as I would have liked. But I also think it's under different circumstances because of like how that story particularly was told, but I still enjoyed it. It's still good. So I still say it's a good trilogy. Now, he's able to do that. Then he tackled Black Panther and just set the tone, okay? He came out swinging, all right? And in the time of, the unfortunate passing of Chadwick Boseman, right in the middle of like COVID and everything was just like very difficult, he manages to put out a sequel, Wakanda Forever, that I think is really good. No, it's not on the level of Black Panther. No, you lost your main star. You had to pivot. You had to redo things. And I feel like half the movie is them mourning Chadwick's death, and the other half is them moving on within the story. And I feel like you see it on screen. And those conflicting tones for me, I think kind of didn't gel as well together, I should say. I still enjoyed it. I still liked it. Obviously, if Chadwick was still alive, it would have been a different type of movie, and I know that it really would have resonated even more with people. But again, like, there's only so much you can do when, unfortunately, somebody who is the main character passes away. That being said, I have confidence in his ability to handle X-Files. And seeing what he did with Sinners, the movie, the horror elements, the storytelling, the character building, the world building. Yeah, I trust him to be able to bring new interesting elements, stories, and layers into an X-Files reboot. And he also said, and I quote, some of those episodes, if we do our jobs right, will be really effing scary. Now listen, I have been on a horror kick. I feel like these past couple of years, I've kind of been returning back to my love of horror. I kind of stepped away from it because horror was my first love when I was younger. I know, a kid watching horror movies, probably not the best thing to do in grade school, but que sera, sera. And then when I got older and after I had children and family, I kind of shied away because there was a shift in horror movies. And I didn't really like all of them like that. So I kind of watched sparingly. And then I think it was around the time the Blair Witch happened, which I enjoyed the Blair Witch Project, but then it became Paranormal Activity, and then it just found footage, and some found footage was hit and some didn't, and I just kind of like, and then they started going to heavy possession, and I'm just like, possession is kind of fun when it's like Chucky, but the way they were doing it, I wasn't as excited, so it was hit and miss. But there's been a resurgence of new and different horror, and I feel like, well, one, Cabin in the Woods, when it came out in, I want to say 2010, that started to revive, the passion within me. And then Jordan Peele came out with Get Out, which just, set the bar, okay, for political thrillers. Set the bar, okay? And then he followed up with Us for Nope. And then you started having television, From. Okay, if you guys haven't watched From, that show is so good and so scary. It's horrific. Now, there are a couple of decisions that characters make in some seasons that will utterly infuriate you, okay? Infuriate you to the point where I hope those actual actors aren't getting hate mail because of the actions that they were forced to act out. Then there was Lovecraft Country, okay, with Jonathan Majors and Journey Smollett. Oh my gosh, it only had one season, but man, what a season. What a season. It's still worth the watch, guys. I will talk about Lovecraft Country till the end of time. And They, which is an Amazon Prime original that has 2 seasons. Let me tell you, that show will scare the living heck out of you, man. Because it's not only just a horror show, but it's like tackling like social topics. Like, honestly, I'm really enjoying seeing more and more Black characters in horror movies with original concepts and ideas, because for the longest time, we were like, we were kind of like the side characters. Like, either we were killed or just not really important to the story, So I like that these are very specific horror stories to us, to us, not only for us, just specific to us and how it's told. There's a bunch of different points of view. So I enjoy watching a Halloween. I enjoy watching a Friday the 13th. Okay, I enjoy Cabin in the Woods. I enjoy these horror movies. Megan 2.0. Freaking enjoy them. I also enjoy these other new, period piece horror movies. Yeah, they're killing it for me. So I'm very excited for what he's going to do. Especially if it's going to be even scarier than the first one, because it says the X-Files, the original, after the first, I think, couple of episodes, they started to lean more into sci-fi, conspiracy, alien storylines. And this sounds like it's going to be more Monster of the Week type of thing and being more horror. And the article actually describes the concept of the new X-Files as the film Hereditary elements being applied to a government conspiracy or cover-up. Holy free holies. If you saw Hereditary, then you already know. Ryan Coogler wants to scare the living heck out of us. Now, I didn't find Sinners scary. It's a horror movie for sure. And it had a good time. And it had a couple of jumps here and there. But I wasn't scared. But vampires, I can't really recall a vampire movie that scared me. Except Blade 2 was initially was a little scary in the beginning when you saw the the character who would like, had a little like, I don't know, the worm coming out of his mouth to suck because it was a different type of vampire. But the rest of the movie was like awesome. Like there was no scary. Now the show, The Strain, that had I think 3 seasons, I think it was, or 4, that was scary. That was the only other time that I can think of where a vampire story scared me. The Strain. That one was scary. So if he's bringing that kind of horror into this, oh, it's about to be on. It's about to be on. All right, guys, are you going to check this out? Let me know if you're excited. Have you seen Sinners? Have you seen it? If you haven't seen it, you got to see it in IMAX if possible, and IMAX 7D if you're near one of those. You got to see it. If I could go watch it again, I would. Maybe I will. What's my schedule look like? Hey guys, quick aside. If you like what you're seeing and you like what you're hearing, feel free to give the video a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can always be up to date on what's going on. And for those who don't know, I'm a writer, director, and producer with my own series, The Zombie Chronicles, which you can also check out on Amazon Prime or Tubi. And those looking for a way to help support further, you can check out my Patreon, NXG Global Productions, where I discuss more movie reviews, access to clips of my writers group recordings, first look at behind the scenes, shout outs on social media, posts, and more. I'm looking to grow the community and would love to have you be a part of it. Plug over.